Welcome back to the Wishing We Were Fishing podcast, the podcast where we wish we were fishing, but instead we're making a fishing podcast. In this episode, we answer some more of your questions we've gotten since the last episode, talk about our New York trip and how we caught some of our biggest trout ever, and give some of our plans for the upcoming year. Thank you guys for all of the support in 2025. Although we only posted 5 episodes, we had a ton of positive feedback, and we even had people asking us to make new episodes. With that being said, we're going to make the podcast a regular thing this year and post episodes at least twice a month. Now let's get into the first podcast of the year. Alright guys, welcome back to another podcast, the Wishing We Were Fishing podcast, where we wish we were fishing, but instead we're making a fishing podcast because it's cold outside.
He sounds very excited today. It's our first podcast of 2026.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's the problem, is that when I start every one of these podcasts, I don't know how to start them because I'm awkward. And then, so I sound like I'm not excited, but really it's just me being awkward. Andrew is silenced by how insane that is.
This is him talking just about before the podcast. He was talking normally, and then we start the podcast, and he's like, all right, welcome to Wishing We Were Fishing podcast. Today
I still don't know how to do it.
Okay. Tell us what we're talking
today.
about.
We're talking about New York, our New York trip for the infamous lake trout, the biggest char in the world, which I didn't even know until I was doing research for the video. Like I was just, I was like, what's an interesting fact about a lake trout? And then I looked it up, and they were the biggest char species in the world, and I was like, oh. There you go. That's pretty cool. And some people commented and were like, what about like taimen and hucho or huncho or however you pronounce those fish? Those are actually not char. They're their own species of salmonid. Are they even a salmonid? I don't even know.
So
doesn't matter.
Salmon?
Char the biggest.
Is it a salmon or a trout?
Who?
Like the taimen.
I don't know. I think it's their own thing. It's not a salmon or a trout.
Okay, so it's
or
like
not a char or a trout.
Its own kind of species within that family or whatever.
Yeah, it's like in the genus. I'm not gonna say anything. There's
Somebody can correct us down in the comments.
So
somebody can correct us in the comments and tell us exactly what a taimen is.
Yeah, I'm not a biologist. We're both geologists by trade, so we don't know anything about anything.
Oh, I'm sure it'd take one quick search on Google to figure out, but
I'm not doing that right now. So someone else can do it and leave a comment and tell us the difference between a lake trout, a regular trout, which lake trout aren't even trout, they're char, and then the taimen over in Mongolia.
That'd be cool to do, but
Well, I have to get my passport first, which is embarrassing that I don't have it. That's one of my goals for 2026. As soon as I get it, I'm going straight to Canada.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, Canada's got some sick fishing, and we're sitting here south of the border trying to catch a bull trout, and then you go to Canada and they're just everywhere. Or so I've heard. So, anyways.
Well, all right.
I guess first we'll start off by answering some questions, right?
Okay, I'll ask you a question. We'll try to be quicker than we were last podcast, which I think the whole thing was questions. I don't know.
It's like a 2-hour podcast about questions.
I feel bad for these couple comments from the last one that said they made it to where we were not even talking about anything anymore.
At the end, we were just blabbering uselessly.
Okay. Question number 1 from A Cup of Joe, which I think John needs right now.
I do.
Has there ever been a time in your YouTube career where you were close to quitting? Working a full-time job and being consistent for that long isn't easy, so I'm curious if there was ever a time where you were close to throwing in the towel.
Not really, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I mean, I would have fished regardless. And then I've heard a lot of people say they don't like to edit the videos or whatever it may be. Like that's where I've heard a lot of people, they end up quitting because it's not fun to them to edit the videos. And if they don't see like if they don't get the positive feedback of views or whatever it is that you enjoy seeing, they quit. But for me, I liked editing. I've always been kind of artistic. I always drew and painted when I was growing up, like as a kid and stuff. And I think that editing the videos was kind of like is still my artistic like outlet, so to speak. So when I go to edit a video, I genuinely get just as excited to edit the video and rewatch my day of fishing as I do actually fishing. Or maybe not quite the same, but I enjoy it all the same. So for me, like having the 2 to 3 days a week of editing isn't that big of a deal. And when I was working a full-time job and I was still putting out one video a week, I would literally I didn't have a social life, which I was kind of okay with, to be honest with you. But I would literally on the weekends, like Saturday, Sunday, fish Saturday, Sunday. And then every day after work, I would get home from work, eat dinner, and I would start editing. Sometimes I'd have a beer, sometimes I'd have some coffee, sometimes I'd have something, and I would just edit, and I'd edit like an hour or two a night. And then over the course of the full week, usually, that's why I upload on Friday, is because back when I was working a full-time job, most of the time, that's as soon as I could get the video done. So I would be like working, I would fish all weekend, film the video, and then Monday edit, Tuesday edit, Wednesday edit, Thursday edit, or Thursday upload. So it could have time to upload, because a lot of times I didn't have the greatest internet until a little bit later on. And then I had really good internet, so I could upload it on Friday if I needed to. But I'd upload, and then the video would go live Friday afternoon or evening, because that was when I would get off work. So when the video uploaded, I could like post it on across all the social media, like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, TikTok, I guess. Although I haven't been doing TikTok much. But anyways, yeah, that's why I do Friday uploads, because that was it fit my schedule at the time. And no, I was never close to quitting. I still think it's the greatest job on earth. So
I would almost say it motivated me even more to fish more and film more, because I really loved the filming, and like having like going out and doing the filming as we were fishing, like made me want to fish even more and trying to catch even bigger fish.
Yeah, it kind of pushes you a little bit, I think.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go and try even harder to catch that 30-inch fish, because now I have my GoPro on and I can hopefully record it. So
yeah, push you harder to catch the 30-inch fish, so people can tell you it's 26 in the comments. Yep, good times. Anyways, yeah, so long story short, no, never thought about quitting, never will quit until unless people just like stop watching the video, or YouTube implodes, I will not be quitting.
Which I don't think would happen. I mean, yeah.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's more likely that people get bored and stop watching.
I don't think it would drop to nothing. I mean, it would always at least have like a few hundred people.
Well, what really is more likely to happen is eventually people are or YouTube's gonna decide that we're harming fish or something and just cancel all fishing activities. But they still allow hunting videos, so we're good for at least another decade.
Guess we'll see when that happens. So you want to do the next question too?
Sure.
Okay.
I also have one other question that we got emailed to us. And he asked the question last time. And then he asked another follow-up question. So I figured we'd answer that. But it's like a 4-part question, so.
Oh, gosh. Well, here, let me ask this. Would you ever, this guy, Fly Guy, he actually just got his first, I was just out deer hunting, and he got his first buck, he said, so.
Let's go. Congrats. You're never going to forget that. I still remember my first buck like it was yesterday. Speaking of first deer, the next podcast, we're going to try to record our faces, because I'm going to use a different platform to record the podcast, I think. And we're going to do a deer camp episode where we tell the stories of our deer we shot this year, because Andrew actually got a deer this year. I got 2 big bucks this year. So, yeah. Get some good stories there. So that'll probably be the next podcast, hopefully, maybe. And anyways, continue with the question.
And also, speaking of podcasts, 2026, we're going to try and do 2 episodes a month. So we should have
2 episodes a
24
month, so one every
in
other
a
week.
year, and that'll be like season 1 is going to be 24 episodes in the year, and we'll jump to the next year, so on.
I think we're still on season 1 or this is season 1, but it includes last year because
we only had like
posted
podcasts.
5 episodes.
So that hopefully we'll do better. So that's the one. Here's the question from the Fly Guy. Okay. Would you ever consider doing some kind of crazy trip to Labrador or New Zealand or Patagonia or somewhere like that? And I would say
if I got
100%.
my passport.
I think
this
is
what
we do plan on doing something like that. It's just obviously those trips. I mean, you're dropping at least $10,000, if not probably more like 15,000 or so, to do something like cross country fishing for probably a week straight. It's not going to be easy.
I feel like people seem to think that YouTube, like, if you're a content creator or YouTuber, you're automatically rich. That is not the case. I feel like we are making bare minimum to survive. So when we are talking about these trips that are going to cost like $10,000 and upwards, it's like,
basically, let's
wait a little bit.
I would say every trip that we do, we go into debt. And then we paid off slowly the months after.
Yeah, we do.
Those are just like trips in the country, I would say.
I would go as far as to say that we haven't made a single dime off of any trip that we've had. Like the videos where we're traveling distances to fish. Rarely do we make a dime off of any of those videos. That's just videos we do because we enjoy it. And you guys enjoy watching them, obviously.
It has happened like once or twice, but it isn't like making tons. Like maybe you're just over break even and you made a few $100s or something on top of that.
We celebrate if we break even. We're like, oh my gosh, we broke even, guys. Have a party.
And we know for a fact there's trips that we enjoy doing that there's no way we ever break even. So we're just like, so if we do this trip, we're definitely going in the hole like $2,000. So do we go or do we just do something else?
The trips where we're like camp or like really roughing it, we can break even on. If you see a trip where we're like staying in an Airbnb or a hotel, or if we get a guide, it's chalk,
like a float trip, like
oh gosh,
yeah, like on the White River or something. I mean, we're plummeting.
We're plummeting fast.
Unless there's any guides out here that are listening to this podcast that want to give us free trips, free float trips down the White River.
I enjoy the guide trips. Like they're some of our favorite trips because they're so easy on us. As in like, oh my gosh, I was telling Joe, which is the guy one of the guy that I've fished with in Tennessee, how much I enjoyed the guide trips because usually we do everything ourselves. Like it's all DIY. So when we go on like a guide trip, it's nice to just sit there and have someone else tie on your fly. You're like, this is what it's
trying
like
to fly, just like cast over this way.
Cast near that log over there. You cast over the log, and then I got one. When I was fishing in Tennessee last with Joe, he was literally sitting there. He's like, "Yeah, you need to cast like closer to this like rock there." He's like, "I see almost like a shadow there or a wake." I don't remember what he said he saw. He's like, "I think there's a fish there. If you can hit that spot, you might catch him." So I was like, all right. Did I cast it over there? And he was like, good cast right there. He said, mend. And I just mended once. And then I let it go. Indicator went down. I thought I was on the bottom because it was kind of like a shallow rock shelf. And he said, set. Head started shaking. I was like, no way. And he was just laughing. He's like, I told you there was one there. I could see it. And I was like, how do you even... I couldn't see anything. So it's fun to do that. But yeah, there's not money made off of those. That's for dang sure.
But anyways, overall, yes, we do want to make a crazy trip to these cool places. And we'll probably go to some of these eventually. He would have to pick one that we are really interested in, and it wouldn't be like crazy amounts of money.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Part of the reason that we haven't pushed that too much yet is because there's so much incredible fishing in the U.S. that I feel like we've barely scratched the surface of. Like I'm doing the Western Native Trout Challenge right now, or I started it last year, and it's going to be going into this year as well. And it's like I'm visiting these states to catch like one species of fish. So I might be there and catch like 2 or 3 species of fish, whatever it may be. Like you go to New Mexico, catch the Gila and the Rio, and then you go to Arizona and you catch the Apache, and then you're like going around to these different states. I have yet to go to a state and like we went to Arizona, caught the Apache. Then we started doing research on Arizona, and Andrew and I were like, well, I just want to go back to Arizona and catch brown trout in some of those little spring creeks. Like, rarely do I go anywhere and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I never want to go back there. Usually I'm like, I need to go back there again and again and again and like explore more of it and figure more of it out. So my point being is that usually when people ask this question, I'm like, yes, I'd love to, and we will eventually. But there's so much cool fishing in the U.S. that it's like, and we haven't even scratched the surface of most of it. And it's like, you know,
There was
like I went to the.
There was.
Go ahead.
I probably do want to go to Iceland, catch the Arctic char, and also I've been seeing some clips of them catching like huge brown trout there too, like 30 plus mid 30s inch brown trout.
Well, I've talked to that fly fishing
Sea run,
with
I'm sure,
Robert.
but yeah.
That's the name, fly fishing with Robert, or what? Robert? What is this? Even that
Iceland
Iceland
the one guy that does Iceland. I don't know.
Yeah, so he's actually a guide, or he does guide trips through some outfit. I don't exactly remember. Yeah, and he invited us out to come out there and fish. And he said he would guide us around to some of those places that he has in some of his YouTube videos, which, if you guys haven't watched his videos, he's based in Iceland, I hope. If he's not based in Iceland, I apologize. Okay.
Or I mean,
but yeah, he has a couple videos that have
Iceland. So unless he's flying out of Iceland and fishing somewhere else.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know his life story. But he's a super nice dude, and he has a couple videos that have like millions of views. He has a video that's like 2.7 million views or something crazy, which is, by the way, more views than any of my videos have ever gotten.
Combined.
Well, let's chill out. No, he makes some cool videos, and like it's just such a beautiful country. So I'd love to go to Iceland, Mongolia for timing. I mean, that's gonna be when we're ready to drop $10,000 on a trip. That's probably one of the first ones I'm gonna do, because I mean, dude, it's like musky fishing for a trout, not a trout, but you know what I mean, like a whatever. And here we go back to this thing again. Is it a trout? Is it a char? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It really, truly doesn't matter. To be able to, you know, streamer fish, like you're essentially musky fishing for this big, like, salmonid would just be amazing. So that's high on the list. What else? I want to go to the Italian Alps badly. I see that as a trip, Andrew, that we could all take. Because a group, like me, you, Tiffany, Marissa, go and go to the Italy, and then go to the Italian Alps. We could film like a video there, but also be able to like travel around Italy. I think that would be fun. Anyways, there's a lot of cool trips like that. I want to
catch the marble. No, not the marble.
That's
the marble too. But what's the other one called with the big spots? Big orange spots.
Oh, those brown trout looking things.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of them. That's in Italy too, I think, isn't it? Aren't those all in the Alps?
Yeah, they're all in that area. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which area, but yeah.
So. That'd be a cool trip. Native browns would be cool.
We should keep moving on to the next question before we get too far in.
Okay, yeah, we're 17 minutes in. We've answered 2 questions. We're doing on par for last episode as well.
Here's the next question from MP Fishing. Would you ever do any night fishing for big brown trout? Have you ever thought about doing any night fishing videos? Maybe mousing or with a night vision camera or something?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to night fish. I don't know anything about night vision cameras.
Fishing, we have done a little bit of fishing at night, but we just don't film it. I haven't ever really caught anything crazy doing it. But it's almost impossible to film, which is the problem.
You can't film it. Yeah, I would like to do it more than I do. As I said, you can't really film it, and unless you like turned on the light after you hooked the fish, which you could do, and maybe do like more of a story. But then like, where's the B-roll going to be at? It's all dark. I don't know. It's a tough one to film. So even if we did it more, I don't know that I don't know how it would be filmed. Like, the only way I'd make a video out of that is if I caught like a 30-inch brown trout at night. Then maybe I would tell the story, but
which we
I don't
probably
know.
could if we fish the right spot. And go down to like a
better
white river
anglers
or something. That's
yeah,
true.
for sure.
But yes, we have done some night fishing, but we have never filmed it, and I haven't really caught anything big enough worth trying to film it anyway. So, okay.
Next question.
Okay, thanks for answering my question. You're welcome. I would like to understand the differences, in your opinion, of spinner fishing versus fly. Which is more productive and consistent way to catch fish, and why? I've switched to fly fishing and have had way more success on my local river. And he's in Canada.
I mean, I've made a few spin versus fly videos. I even made a fly versus live bait video. And I think the answer is it depends. I think fly fishing in general, like, dude, fly fishing wasn't invented because it was harder. I mean, it is a harder technique, but fly fishing in general was invented because trout eat bugs that you can't cast on a spinning rod. It's just the truth. So it was invented for a reason. And I think that in general, fly fishing is more effective than spin fishing. Like if you're fishing for like wild trout and stuff like that. But spin fishing is easier, and from a standpoint of like, you can cast across the river with literally, you could teach someone, I could hand someone that's never fished in their life a spinning rod, and within 10 minutes get them to cast across the river. 15 minutes, whatever. Like it wouldn't take that long, but to get someone to be able to take a fly rod and cast across the river might take weeks or longer, depending on, what you're doing. So obviously, like with spinning, because the like entry level for like being a halfway decent spin fisherman is so much lower than fly fishing, I think that a lot of people just assume that it's more effective. And every time I've made videos of spin versus fly, and the fly rod even remotely outperforms the spinners or the spinning rod, or even, keeps pace with it. There's a bunch of spin fishermen on there like, you just don't know how to spinner fish. You've been fly fishing for too long. Like, you're just not a very good spin fisherman. I'm like, dude, I have been spin fishing for like
they always say, oh, well,
double
that's because
you're
not throwing this bait or this bait.
It's like, dude, I grew up spin fishing these waters. I've spin fished them more than I've fly fished. You know what I mean? Like, we've been spin fishing since we were like 10 years old, So coming up on 20 years, I've been spin fishing, and I've been fly fishing for like half that. So for these people to tell me that like I don't know how to spin fish is laughable, but it doesn't matter. My point being is that because spin fishing is so much easier to pick up, people just assume it's better, when in reality, there's no trout are not. When you throw a spinner out there, when you throw a Joe's fly out there, which is one of my favorite spinners, there's nothing in the water that looks like a Joe's fly. Like, have you ever seen a bait fish that's vibrating violently and making flashes? No, it just annoys them. It ticks them off, so they eat it. Or trout are just like, they really like flashy objects. So, spinners work, spoons work, and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sit there and pretend like that's like their main source of food, or that like, a wild trout. Now, stock trout is different, but a wild trout, like on their daily foray to eat food, is going to be looking for something that looks anything remotely like a spinner.
And I would say,
but
maybe if you're exclusively fishing for like a predatory, like big brown trout, and that's all that's in there, and you're throwing like a jerk bait on your spinning rod, that could probably outperform 100% a fly rod. If you're
that's where
throwing nymphs or something.
And that's where it truly depends. Because if you're fishing for big brown trout, let's say, and you're fishing a river and you're throwing a spinning rod with a jerk bait, obviously a jerk bait could very easily outperform a streamer, just from a standpoint of like, you're gonna be able to move water so much faster. Imagine just going whoosh, smash, work, whoosh, smash, work, rather than like a spin it or a fly or like a streamer that you might have to do a couple of false casts, or you might have to like, you make a cast and you gotta like mend the line. You gotta do all these extra steps to get the fish to eat. Whereas like a jerkbait, you could just reel it if you wanted to and probably catch fish. Having said that, I do want to make a video on that. I want to go to like some of my local waters and like throw both and see like, which one works better. Like throw a jerkbait through the water and then throw a streamer through the water and see if one works better than the other.
Yeah.
I think my gut instinct is that it probably doesn't matter that much. Like if you throw like
it probably doesn't matter. It'll probably just be like they'll catch the same amount of fish almost. I would almost just say, well, although I would say streamers generally look more realistic though than like a jerkbait, but I would also say it would probably come down to the jerkbait. Like I could just be sprinting up the creek, throwing the jerkbait around, and as he heard down 3 holes below me, still casting the streamer around. So that would probably be the biggest difference.
I just fished with Will the other day, and he said that he said he was like, I'll do that video with you because he just wants to throw a jerkbait. He was like, I'll throw a jerkbait. That'd be fun.
I want to do the video with you. I want to throw a jerkbait.
I know, but then I was like, yeah, but then it's that to me is not a good comparison because of course if you're with me and you can just cast further, quicker, longer, faster,
well, no, you're gonna probably catch more fish. Something. Like,
but I want to know, you'd have to switch off holes because you got to see like which one actually works better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure people will be like, well, doesn't that mean that the jerkbait works better if you can work faster and catch more fish? It's like, I don't know. No, maybe. I don't know. The other thing I was going to say is like, it depends on like whatever river you're looking at. If there's a river you're looking at and it's fly fishing only, this is an example. I'm not saying there's any that are fly fishing only, but like let's say it's fly fishing only, then yeah, jerkbait would kill the game because they've never seen a jerkbait. But if you're like at some obscure river that no one really fishes and you're throwing streamers all the time, and then some dude walks up with a jerkbait, yeah, the jerkbait's going to kill it. Or vice versa. If you're on a river that everybody's throwing jerkbaits and then you throw a streamer's going to kill it. Because it's just what the fish haven't seen before. So that's also part of it, I think. Anyways, I don't even remember what the question was. Spin versus fly? Here, let me summarize
which one was better, and he said that he had been catching more on the fly rod at his local river. Here's
my summary. The fly rod, the fly fishing, the technique was, I say invented, but was like forged. I don't know what the right word is. It doesn't matter. Came to be for a reason. That's because it's a really effective way to catch trout. Okay. Now, if you get into like the streamers or like different ways that we use fly rods today that they weren't originally invented for, then like, yeah, you could maybe say that spin fishing, maybe has a slight leg up on the competition. But for like what fly fishing is made for, like if you just want to catch wild trout or just trout in general at your local river, the fly rod, if you are a proficient fly angler, you're going to outfish spin guys like 90% of the time. I think.
Okay.
And I'll 1v1 any spin fisherman that thinks that that's not true.
You heard it there first.
Next question. How many questions do we have though for real?
We're almost done, I think.
Okay.
Let me see.
I was just wondering.
Okay, there, did that one. Oh, here's good. Quick question. Can you help me understand the difference? This is from Jake G Fishes. Understand the difference between the Euro style nymphing and tight line nymphing. Is there a difference?
No. I mean, I don't think so. I think the thing with the Euro-nymphing is that you're not really using fly line. I think in tight lining you can have fly. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't exactly know. I'm not up on like the definitions of what Euro-nymphing or tight lining.
I think it's basically
the mono
same
rig
thing.
or the.
So I would just say it's the same thing because you're doing the same idea for both. You're tight lining the line.
I think that
to feel the fish.
If the difference is the line thing, like in that like Euro-nymphing, you're not using fly line at all, and then like tight lining you are, then I think Euro-nymphing is just like the updated version of tight lining.
Someone did respond to his comment and said they are the same. So
Good.
Perfect. Okay, last question from Micah Dean.
Micah Bates?
No,
I'm just
Micah
kidding.
Dean. Do you guys fish mono rigs? Usually, any tips for learning to fish a mono rig?
Yes. And tips? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could go on tips for a long time. I mean, mono rigs are the easiest way to like tight line or Euro-nymph, whatever you want to call it.
In fact, just yesterday when I was fishing, I had my floating line. I was throwing a jig around. I ended up switching, putting on my Euro reel with the Euro line, just because I could feel exponentially better. I was like, I can't feel what this jig is doing in the water unless I have my Euro line on.
Yep, that makes sense.
But I don't know about tips either.
I guess my question
He
for
could probably have a whole
that guy
podcast about Euro.
Well, that's true, but my question for that guy is like, what does he mean by tips? Like tips on the rig itself, tips on how to use it, tips on what flies, tips on, you know what I mean? Like that's such a broad question that we could literally do a 2-hour podcast on like
the mono rig itself is just the line, right? So you're just putting the mono line on as the line for your reel, and then after that, everything else is the same. You're still tying on your nymph, your tippet.
Correct. I mean, the mono rig just is essentially the 20 feet of line or whatever you want to put that leads up to the indicator or the sighter. Sorry, I don't know why I said indicator. I'm still in New York mode. Not indicator, the sighter. That then goes to your tippet that goes to your fly.
Fly fishing is becoming so much like spin fishing. Soon enough, we're just going to be buying the spin fishing line at the bait store and reeling that up on our fly lines.
I had some guy that was just like, he said, well, that's pretty much what a mono rig is.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
We're not spin fishing, we're using a mono rig. Yes, indeed. No, I had one guy be like, it was on a Euro-nymphing video. He was like, I could literally throw that on my spinning rod. And I was like, probably good. The amount of weight that you end up adding onto that to get down. But the difference is like, with spinning rods, you don't have, well, first of all, you don't have quite the feel, is you're not directly connected to your line like you're on a fly rod. But also, the fly rods that we're using to tight line or Euro-nymph or whatever with a mono rig are like 10 foot minimum. Like a 10 foot's a short rod. I have rods that are 10'6". They even go up 11 plus feet long, so that you, when you're casting, you can like feel and actually get good drifts. Whereas spinning rods are so short, like, you know, and unless they invent.
6,
I say
7
this,
feet.
someone's probably already inventing this, a spinning rod, Euro rod.
Maybe we should be the first.
Can you not just put a spinning rod on a Euro rod though, or spinning reel on a Euro rod? Like, would that fit?
I don't think it would fit. You'd probably have to do something, but maybe we should do that. New business idea?
I mean, if you want to tick off the fly fishing community, then yeah. People are already ticked off with tight lining and Euro-nymphing and the mono rig anyways. At least the purists are. So then you just add a spinning reel to it and say, I'm still fly fishing. Yeah, right. That's definitely not fly fishing then. At least you can lie to yourself when you have a fly reel on there. Especially those jig streamers. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
right.
Dude, my jig
you
streamers,
could throw that on a spinning rod.
You could throw that on a spinning rod regardless.
I don't know why you're not. It'd be way easier.
Well, it's easier with the length of the fly rod.
Yeah, that's true. It's all comes down to the length of the fly rod right now.
Yeah, so if
that's
they
the only thing keeping it on.
A 10-foot long.
Think about it, like a 10-foot nimble. Over. The problem is like a spinning rod that's 10 foot long is probably stiff as crap.
Yeah, it would have
which
to
is
be
also
like
not what you want.
Just
Is it my question turn now?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, you ready? This guy's name is Jack. I think I said I couldn't use his name last time, but he said I could call him Jack. Just don't use his last name. Anyways, okay. So he said, thank you for answering questions last time. You're welcome. He said bucket list places to fish. We kind of answered that already with the question about the
the different places. Yep.
Yeah. So next question. He said Patagonia, Alaska, Iceland, Europe. Iceland for sure, Europe for sure. Patagonia, yeah. Alaska is a bucket list, but that's in the U.S. We'll probably do that in the next.
Alaska, you'll have to do that for the Trial Challenge, right?
Yeah, that won't be. We'll probably do that. I probably won't do it this summer because I won't have time. Maybe next summer, unless I get like invited by somebody to go, and then maybe I'll go. I don't know, but I really want to catch like the Arctic char and stuff. That'd be fun. He said, "Do you consider yourselves the best fly fishing YouTubers?" Question for you, Andrew.
Do we consider ourselves the best fly fishing YouTuber? I wouldn't say that. No.
No, I don't think we are. I think there's a lot of people that make really, really good videos. Most of which I feel like are probably better than ours, but we're still kicking.
Now, would I consider myself the best fly fisher that also makes videos? Possibly. No.
Andrew's like, I am the best fisherman that makes videos, but do I make the best videos about me fishing? No, I don't think, in all seriousness, I think like Wildfly Production, obviously. Scotty makes incredible videos. Firefly Grant makes really good videos. Chris Flicky Flies, he makes great videos. Who else? Trout Hunting New Zealand. He doesn't post as much now, but he makes good videos.
I think all of them make good videos to where I would say depends on your preference on who you think makes the best videos. You know, do you like this kind of style better than this style? So it's kind of just personal preference on who you would think. Now, I think we make some of the best, yes, just because I like kind of our style and how we do things, our action, our different places we fish a lot, and we're not just fishing the same thing. A lot of them fish other places too, but I don't know. I'm partial to our content, but that's just because I'm part of the content. So,
well, obviously,
everybody has their own preference.
If we didn't like the content, we wouldn't post it. So we post what we like. So obviously, we genuinely like our own content. But I don't think we're the best by any means. I think there's a lot of people that are really good at making the content. So yeah, long story short, I don't think we're the best, but I think we make good content that we're proud of. And yeah, other people also make good content.
Could it be the best?
But if you think that we're the best, great. If you think Wildfly's the best, great. If you think Firefly's the best, great.
I'm not gonna tell you no. If you say you're the best. I'm just messing around.
Next question. He said, other than Firefly, have you considered collabing with any other fly fishing YouTubers like Wildfly? So I've talked to Scotty. We've had a phone conversation. We'll probably try to collab next year. Hopefully, if all the schedules work out. Oh yeah, this year.
2026. Okay.
It's 2026 now. Happy New Year's. We'll try to collab this year if our schedules, if we can align something. Because obviously I feel like that's a long time coming. Because he makes awesome content. We make awesome content, and we're both located in the U.S. Like the fact that we haven't is kind of crazy. Grant, aka Firefly, we're gonna be collabing again sooner rather than later because I already have a trip. Although we haven't planned this trip, I'm going to be going probably out near where Grant's at in the next 2 to 3 months to do another like collab style video. So that'll be cool. And YouTube now you can actually like collab with different channels. Like I can post a video and collab with Firefly and vice versa. So that'll be cool. Which helps everybody out. So that's cool. But yeah, we'll do some more collaborations. That's one of my things I'm going to try to do for 2026 is actually collaborate with people and that's really it. I said and like there's something else to come, but yeah, just to collaborate with some people. So yeah. You got anything to add to that, Andrew?
I don't think so.
Are you going to collab with Firefly or Wildfly or any other YouTuber?
Probably not, because I don't have the time to do these things. So
Yeah, Andrew still works a full-time job. So when I talk about all this stuff, he's like,
I'm gonna collab with myself at the local river. I'm gonna be like, hello guys, I'm collabing with Hartman Fishing Adventures today.
yeah. No, you should start your own YouTube channel, just Andrew Hardman Adventures,
and then just
collab with the channel. yeah.
Like Hartman Fishing was kind enough to collab with this small creator here.
This small creator. It's literally you who was like did most of the videos for like a year or two a while back. Anyways, what later in life do you envision opening a fly shop, building bamboo rods, or doing something of that nature? What about you, Andrew?
I don't know about building bamboo rods or building any rods at all. Open a fly shop, I mean, I would never be opposed to, because I would love to just sit in a fly shop on my free time. But the problem is the cost to operate that. And
I've heard fly shops.
And I've also heard fly shops, don't make any money. And so you just kind of have to have the money to just lose, basically, if you have a fly shop. Now, I mean, I know some fly shops do make money if you're bigger, more established and stuff. But, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But that wouldn't be anytime soon, because we'd have to have the capital to open up the fly shop, get all the supplies and everything else, which I'm sure is probably $50,000 to do. Open. I don't know how much it would cost.
If you guys want us to open up a fly shop, you're gonna have to start buying a lot of merch. Like, just get if every single subscriber bought some merch, we could open a fly shop next year.
Yep.
So,
and honestly, there's some places I'm even like, why is there not a fly shop here? Because it's like around this area with like lots of fly fishing, and I'm just like, I need something, and there's just nothing in the area. But so I could see that, but I mean, that wouldn't happen anytime soon if it ever happened, just because I don't know how I would do that. And building bamboo rods and stuff, I wouldn't say building bamboo rods, but I would love to collab with a rod maker to like make our own custom rods. That'd be cool. Like an HFA rod.
I think it'd be fire to have like a Hardman fishing rod.
I agree.
I'll hit up Guideline and be like, hey, how about we make but what rod would we even make?
I mean, I'm probably a streamer rod type thing.
I think it would have to be, right? I wouldn't want to do a Euro-nymphing rod, because I feel like everybody, like there's so many good anglers that would make a better Euro
would
rod.
like to do a Euro-nymphing rod, actually, because I use that a lot. Or like a Euro, or like a 10-foot, 5-6
agree,
weight,
but think
4, 5, 6.
Think of how many like top-notch Euro rods there are.
I know.
Now think about how many top-notch streamer-specific rods there are. And I bought a streamer-specific rod. I keep seeing people ask about it because I used it in some videos. This was years ago. Dude, I'm not going to mention the company or whose rod it was or what, but I used that rod, dude. That thing broke within like... And like, not like the rod itself didn't break. I'd used it maybe for like 2-3 months. And the cork started rotating around the rod blank. I was like, dude, are we for real? And I just saw someone ask
about that happen on cheaper rods.
No, this rod was like $400, $500, $600. And, I've seen people in some of the videos be like, I'm thinking about buying one of these rods. Do you recommend it? And I'm like, no, dude, stop. Like, that is not, I would not recommend anybody get this rod. Anyway, long story short, my point being is that I think, I think it would have to be a streamer rod, probably.
I think we'd start with a streamer rod, for sure.
Or
so I would say
the other one that would be good that we could do, like a small stream rod. We do a lot of that.
Yeah,
like the brook trout / cutthroat rod. Yeah, like it's like a small stream specific cutthroat / brook trout.
I wouldn't mind that, because there's a lot of really slow action of those. I would make mine slightly faster, because I'm just partial to slightly faster action rods.
Make some that are like slightly faster action. Make some that are like really short, so that like when I'm
you can do like a
native brookie fishing.
Yep. Like a 7
but also
foot. Basically a spinning rod.
Yeah, but not that stiff.
No, I'm just making it was a joke.
Yeah.
So.
Also, we'd make them look kind of cool somehow.
Oh, I would love it to be wrapped in carbon fiber. I had a bait casting rod back in the day, and it was wrapped in carbon fiber. It was the most sensitive, best rod I've ever had. Didn't break. I had it for a long time, and then a catfish dragged it into the water. But it was the best rod I've ever had until then.
The infamous catfish drag. But here's the thing with carbon fiber. I feel like it'd be too stiff.
It could be, but maybe you just...
Maybe wrap the bottom end.
Yeah, like the bottom half in it, and then the top half isn't wrapped in it. So you have like a really sturdy base that's really sensitive. And then the upper part.
Maybe it has like a carbon fiber spine that goes up the rod or something.
Yeah, something like that. Now we're talking. But I don't know how this actually plays into the development of it.
No, but we'd have to have something that was like Hardman Fishing Adventures-esque on there.
Or you could like, yeah.
Maybe make the grips of the handle be like the blue that we use for our Hardman Fishing Adventures logo. Or I don't know. We'd have to do something.
All of the wraps for the stuff like alternate the colors up it or something, like blue and yellow or something. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah, but the whole reason behind the blue and yellow
and a gold or something to make it look more classy.
Well, the whole reason behind the blue and yellow originally, the reason I wanted those colors for our design is because we were from West Virginia, and West Virginia is like blue and gold. Like that's like kind of unanimously our state colors. So I thought,
and it also
we'll do
kind
blue
of became like blues of water. The gold is like kind of a brown trout too, and we had a lot of that early on. So
well, then we were gonna do like the darker blue and like gold color, but then when we looked at the actual design finals for our logo, it just didn't work. Like the dark blue didn't look good, so we had to lighten it up, and we had like a couple different colors, and we chose like the lighter blue color because it just worked better with the logo. But then we kept like the yellow gold fish on there and stuff like that, because it was supposed to kind of represent a brown trout, as we said at the time, which is what we fish for mostly. We still do. Plus the West Virginia golden trout that people say isn't a golden trout, it's a Palomino trout. So really, if you think about it, there's so many Easter eggs in our channel. That's what I'm trying to say, dude. Nobody knows the time we put into this stuff. Anyways.
Okay, that was weird. No,
I was like pretending to be like more profound than we.
Not necessarily building our own rods, but I wouldn't mind a collab. But it would have to be it would have to be solid. Like I would have to test the collab rod out for like a good year before we even thought about doing anything with it.
Correct. And we'd have to genuinely love it.
Either way, even if something happened tomorrow, you wouldn't see it for a good year and a half, 2 years probably. So you might not ever see it.
Yeah. Then by the time it comes out, we're irrelevant and nobody cares.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, well, we sold 5 rods this week, so I think we're actually going to go
That's the problem is I feel like it would end up being an expensive rod to buy for people. Like, it would end up being like an $800 rod, and it'd be like, how many people are actually buying $800 rods? We'd have to make it cheaper than that. I know, but I agree. But then it'd be like you still couldn't make it that cheap, and even if you dropped it down to like $400 to $500, like that's still above most price ranges for people. So,
whatever. Let's go to the next question real quick.
Okay, next question.
We're
already almost an hour in.
I know. We got to really start figuring this out.
Speed this up.
He asked me if I ever thought about creating a separate channel for hunting and how did I get into hunting. I've thought about it. The problem for me is that filming hunting videos is very difficult. And like solo filming is, you almost have to sacrifice, hunting a little bit to film yourself, which is tough. I actually had an idea to like try to film a hunt and then use the deer tail to tie a fly to then go catch a fish on. And then I went out for 2 days during the late doe season in West Virginia and couldn't kill a doe. So then the video obviously is not going to happen until next year. But even that, I just like strapped a GoPro to my head and was trying to film it. And it was kind of cool footage. I almost got one doe at one point, but I couldn't see anything but her like neck up to her head, and I didn't want to take a neck shot. And then she figured out something was wrong and took off. Anyways, I don't know if I'll start a separate channel for that, but I don't know. We'll see. We are maybe going to start a separate channel, like a Hardman Fishing Uncut, though.
Interesting. It's just, if you're not solely focused on that, it would be tough to make content throughout the year with hunting because you can only hunt for a couple months of the year fresh. I mean, you can hunt other animals and stuff, but it would just be tough to make that, like, you'd have like what 2 or 3 videos in like at the end of the year, but then you're done kind of. So it'd be tough to make it full time. That's all you focused on was hunting, and then we couldn't fish for that time too. So you kind of have to pick.
Mean, as I said, like, I think the route to doing that is just doing like I was going to call it a blast, tie, and cast. Because you could do that with everything. You could film an elk hunt technically, and then use the elk hair to make an elk hair caddis, and then go catch cutthroat in the creek. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's a cool video idea. That involves hunting as well. So there might be some of that.
We'll probably do that eventually. Yeah.
The elk hunting would be easier because we're usually all together. So, like, technically, like, what are the odds we all see different elk and want to go kill them? 0. So, like, we're more likely to see one bull and be like, all right, here, take the camera. Let's see if we can actually film this elk hunt or something. I don't know. I thought about doing a squirrel hunting one, too, because you could toss some sick flies out of a squirrel. Yeah. Anyways, the second part was that how did we get into hunting? Our whole family hunts. At least on my dad's side of the family, everybody hunted, including my dad. So we've been hunting. I was at hunting camp. I was born in October, and I was at hunting camp in January. If that tells you how long I've been in and around hunting / in the woods. So, yeah, I've been out hunting since I was a tiny little kid, or at least a part of hunting since I was a kid. Andrew has as well. So, that's pretty much it. Oh, he said, have you ever tried like a drop shot rig for nymphs? So, no. Yeah, I have actually. I've tried it a couple times. Andrew hasn't, even though I keep telling him to.
No, I almost did one day.
Oh, I'm glad you almost did one day.
I forgot my sinkers though. Well,
oh my gosh, dude!
Thought I had them in my bag, and I have no idea where they are. In fact,
I'm telling you,
there's one somewhere.
There's one river, and you know what river it is. If you drop a drop shot rig under an indicator,
I'm telling you, dude.
Andrew, if I come there and catch a 30-inch trout on an indicator, a drop shot rig, I want everybody to come back to this podcast and be like, now it's on the record. John told Andrew to use his drop shot rig under an indicator with an egg, get your flies down to where the fish are in those deep holes, use an indicator rig so you can cast further and let the fly go through the run, and you're going to catch a big fish, and you won't do it. You keep going back with your jig streamers.
I didn't even catch a fish.
Yeah, maybe because you didn't do it right.
I don't know what to tell you.
I know people that have used that rig and caught 30-inch fish.
I did see one. I know, and I'm gonna try it. Well, I made my sinkers, and I didn't have them that day.
My sinkers.
Let's call them what they are.
No, they're sinking devices. Get you some tungsten sinking devices. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, doesn't matter.
I did see a big fish. I've seen it. I think I've seen it twice now. It's a toad of a fish. In fact, I'm not so sure. It wasn't a kokanee salmon, but then it's like,
what?
Or is it just like a rainbow trout that's like really red? You know?
Oh my god!
But either way, it's like 24 inches.
I'm flying out there.
Either way, it's like 24 inches, and I saw it the one time, and I was like, oh, that's a kokanee salmon. But then I saw something similar again, and I'm like, maybe that's just the most stunning rainbow trout you've ever seen.
Well, a kokanee would have already spawned and died. It wouldn't be there multiple weeks in a row.
No, but it was more red the last time I saw it. So I'm thinking that was a kokanee. This is something else. But either way,
oh my gosh,
this is like a 24-inch red rainbow trout, or just like a red-brown trout.
And you haven't caught it on a nymph yet?
No, I had my streamer out, cast at it. It didn't move at my streamer, so I was like, okay, let me tie on a nymph rig. I sat down, tied on the nymph rig, stood up, it was gone. So I don't know what happened to it.
Oh gosh, dude, I'm flying out there. I'm gonna go catch your fish real quick.
Okay.
Just drop me a pin to the location.
I got it.
Perfect.
Sending the pin now. Oh man. Hold up.
Okay, so I think what's the next thing we're doing? We're talking about New York, right?
I got to pull up my game while we do this.
Your game. Oh, Arsenal. Did it already start? What time is it? Where's my phone?
It started already. It started half an hour ago, actually.
Where do you watch it at? Did you watch it on like...
Peacock has it.
Who is... Oh. I felt like I saw it on Hulu the other day.
I just want to have it beside me just in case there... Oh my gosh, it's already tied.
It's already tied? Gosh. How long has this game been going on?
It's already 1-1. I know I'm missing it, dude.
What time? What is the minute?
It's already 21st minute, 22nd.
Who's Arsenal playing?
I'm missing a high-action game. Bournemouth.
Oh, my God. We still have to talk about New York, dude. It doesn't help if we took 53 minutes on questions. Anyways, New York. What did you think about Lake Trout? Actually, let's start. Let's go by day. I feel like we have to go through day by day, sort of.
Okay. Let's go.
Not like super in depth, but like, you know what I mean. So first day, we show up to this river.
Sucks.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, technically, first day was Erie Tribs, not Lake Trout. The Erie run this year is abysmal. I've said it a couple times in videos now, but like worst run of all time.
Pick up in the spring, right, or not?
So I just saw a video posted on Facebook of one of the areas you can't fish, and this is in Pennsylvania, like one of the places where the steelhead run up and you can't fish for them. I was telling you about those.
Creeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was loaded with steelhead. Like they were on top of each other. And I saw some comments, people were like, is this video shot today? And the guy was like, yeah. And they were like, a little bit late, aren't they? Like, why are they running now? Why is there so many in there now? So maybe they're going to start running in the spring. Okay. But yeah, up to this point, the steelhead run has been non-existent in Erie. I've heard a bunch of different reasons as to why. I don't know if they're real or if they're conspiracies about like hatcheries are had been shut down and whatever. I don't know. Steelhead run is they switched some of the fish that they had been stocking in the lake, and now they're going to run in the spring, or now they're not running at all because they're crappy genetics or whatever it is. I don't know. But either way, they're not running. So we went and we fished like a bunch of different creeks that like I fished last year and saw steelhead in them every single time. And this year, me and Andrew went there and literally crickets were chirping. The only reason we knew that there'd even been steelhead in the creeks was because there's blood on the snow in a couple places.
Yes.
And then Andrew finally caught one, so that was good.
It wasn't good, and eventually we came up to this one spot in the creek, and John actually spooked one because he was like just walking in the middle of the creek, just because at that point we were just like, we got to see something. Well, he was fishing, but he was standing in the that's in the creek, and he spooked one, and we were like, okay, there's at least one in there, and I was like, that's like a 15-inch fish. John was like, I'm not sure about that.
I said it was
We fished up a little higher, and then we came back down to that same hole after we let the fish reset, and we saw a fish again in there, right? Yeah, we saw it, and then I started casting at it, and I hooked onto it, caught it. We didn't have a net. John had to sprint back. You saw the video. Maybe you didn't. If you haven't, go check it out. But I ended up catching one steelhead all day, or rainbow trout, whatever you want to call them. And I thought it was going to be like an 18-inch fish. It ended up being 24.5 inches. But
Andrew has
that would be extremely fun if there was actually fish in there.
Can we time out for a second?
My other problem with that type of fishing is there's so much ice and the water's dirty. Like, is it ever clear and ice free and there's fish?
Yeah, also the water wasn't dirty, it was clear.
It became dirty the next day.
Oh yeah, the next time we fished it. Yeah.
It was
it's usually clear. It's usually
first
clear.
Time, okay. Because
the water's usually crystal
helps
clear.
Out.
Yeah. I was going to say also, it just made me realize that you said that 24.5-inch fish was 15. So how big is that 24-inch fish? 18. So how big is that 24-inch fish that you're seeing where you're at? That you're saying, it's 30. Like 24, so it's probably 30? Yeah. Definitely drop me the pin, dude. I'm coming out there tomorrow. Gosh, dude.
This 24 I was seeing out here dwarfed the size of that little 18-inch rainbow that
Oh
I saw.
my gosh, dude. So here's the thing. A 24-inch fish in New York or Pennsylvania or whatever is also a 24-inch fish in Colorado, which means that your 24-inch fish in Colorado is actually
fish in Colorado.
30.
It was like sitting at the bottom of the creek too.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of you. I'm so sick of you. I'm so sick of you. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. I also caught a steelhead, but it may or may not have been foul hooked. We're unsure. Something weird happened during the fight, but it doesn't matter. The point being is that it was 28
I think
inches.
it ate it
really
at
cool.
first, and then who knows what happened later on. But either way, it was a cool fish. It was, what, 28 and a half, 28, 29?
Yeah, something like that. Still not my biggest one was 29 and a half last year.
So that was pretty close, even our first day fishing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I might try to do some more steelheading this year. I don't know, but it wasn't good. It didn't make me want to go back.
It was just, for my first experience doing it, it was pretty bad.
Abysmal.
Like, you just didn't see any fish at all. You're just going up and down the creeks. There was no fish. You didn't see any fish, and all the people we talked to also weren't catching anything or seeing much.
Yep.
So it was just bad.
Absolutely.
And John's like, "Oh, when I was here last year, there was fish sitting everywhere."
There was.
I saw
Every hole
530s
had like
right
two
here.
or three at least. Some of them had multiple.
Well,
But
maybe I'll try it again next year.
yeah, maybe next year will be more kind.
Or this year. At the end of this year?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Whatever. Next season. Why am I yawning? Okay, next day we actually started fishing for lake trout.
And then it gets exciting.
And as soon as we get there, we run into some guys who are like, "We haven't caught anything, dude. Water's off color. Good luck." And we're like, Great. I'm so excited for this day of fishing. But we went down to one spot that just looked kind of good for no reason. It just was a current break.
Just like, this is like a nice little break.
Yeah, and then we ran into some dude who was like super
like,
nice. If you haven't seen the video, you should go watch it. But basically, he came down, told us he'd caught fish there, a few days earlier, and then moved on. And then he hooked a fish immediately after we'd been there for like an hour and a half. And then Andrew went and helped him net the fish. And then he came back and ended up giving us some of like the little jig streamers or like jigs or whatever you want to call them. He gave them to us. That he was using to catch fish. We were like, all right, cool. And really the biggest difference is that they were just dark colored, like blacks and purples and whatever. So we started using those, and immediately I caught a steelhead, so that was pretty cool. And then, we just kept fishing. Andrew, I think you broke off on a steelhead. That didn't even make the cut for the video because you weren't recording for it. But Andrew hooked a big steelhead.
I hooked a steelhead. Yeah, it was probably good.
And it broke.
Mid-upper 20s.
Yeah. And it broke, which is unfortunate. And then
I sat there for way too long. It was so long. John was like, "What are you doing?" Like, he kept looking back at me like, "What are you still doing over there?" And I was just sitting. I found a rock to sit on, and I was just sitting there casting the same kind of drift over and over again. And we went back to that drift the next day, and we were like, "This is crap. Why are you sitting here so long?"
Dude, I'm not
even sure
bored.
why I was sitting there so long.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I kept looking back at Andrew. I was like, can we move on, dude? Like, we're, it's freezing cold. I'm ready to leave already. We haven't caught anything. Like, literally, it's 1 p.m. We haven't caught anything all day except for one steelhead. And Andrew's just sitting there, like, pounding this one current break, the same cast over and over and over again. I was like, I think he's broken. Like, I think he's short-circuited. I could not figure out what he was doing or why he was doing it, but he just sat there.
I'm not sure what I was doing. Well, the current was like ebbing and flowing, so it's like really strong current past me, and then it would become slower, and it would take so long to hit that slower current. I just had to keep casting over and over again, and I don't know why I was even casting over and over again because I had hooked the rainbow, and I was like, well, maybe there's more in here. I guess it was my thought process. But
Yeah.
and eventually, a bobber went down again, and I hooked into a lake trout, which was exciting, and it
Yeah,
was
that was
just
shocking.
tugging. I mean, they just fight so hard too. And then we got that in, and then John was suddenly like, well, daggone, what have I been doing?
Yeah, I was like, maybe I should be sitting in one spot for 3 hours. Maybe that's the key. And also the cool thing about that lake trout was that it had its, what's the name of that fin? Why am I just blanking on it?
Dorsal? No.
No.
Adipose.
Adipose. Oh my gosh, yeah. Adipose fin. It had its adipose fin, which meant that it was a native lake trout, which is pretty rare.
They're all native lake trout, but I mean, this one hadn't been stocked.
Yeah, native wild, whatever you want to call it. Like, it hadn't been stocked. It was like a fish that was born and raised in the river, unlike most of the lake
all
trout.
The rest of them we got.
Yeah, we're all stocked fish, and they weren't stocked at 34 inches. They probably get fingerling stocked by the state of New York. But basically, I did some research on this, and they have there's an invasive sea lamprey that didn't used to be in the Great Lakes, and of course, people introduced them for one reason or another. And yeah, they killed the lake trout. So the lake trout population crashed out really quickly. And then they basically did a bunch of stocking efforts to help keep the lake trout population high. And lake trout are also the oldest char species. They caught one out of Lake Michigan, I think it was, that was 62 years old. So they live to be really old. They don't even reach maturity to reproduce until they're 8 or 9 years old, I think. So it just takes them a lot longer to get to that point, whereas a brown trout will reproduce after a year or two, I think, or a couple years. So long story short, they got wiped out. So Andrew's first lake trout was a native wild lake trout, which is pretty rare actually. And yeah, I titled the video "Is this the rarest trout in New York?" Which is, obviously I'm trying to get people to click on the video, but also, it was true. As in a lake trout, a wild native lake trout are exceedingly rare. I texted one of my buddies and he said that it's getting more common slowly, but it's taken a lot of time, and they spend $20 million to get rid of sea lampreys every year out of Lake Ontario. So it's a process they're going through. Anyways, I say all that to say that a lot of people were like, lake trout aren't rare in the least. And I'm like, I know that. What? What are we talking about? But yeah, it just showed me that a lot of people didn't make it to the end of the video where I actually just, actually said why I titled the video the way I did.
I'd be curious. So most of the lake trout, though, don't they just spawn in lakes or in the lake? Okay.
Yeah, they're spawners. I read this. They call them reef spawners or something. They basically spawn on ledges in the lakes and stuff, but they also do spawn in the rivers. They will run up some rivers to spawn.
Because there are some lake trout in Colorado.
Yes, there are. Yeah.
But I don't know. There probably are so few that would push up that if there's 5 that push out of the lake, you're probably not going to catch them.
But also they're not native to Colorado, I don't think. So they were stocked in there at one point or another.
Yeah.
So they may not, these lake trout that we were catching were that was in their native range. They've been in the Great Lakes forever. So I think they might use the water systems differently because they should theoretically know what they're doing within reason. Yeah, I don't know. But so that was day 2. Day 3, we didn't catch a single lake trout, right? No. We didn't catch any lake trout.
We fished for. Was that the brown? We started for brown trout. Oh no, that was. Yeah, that was the.
No. Yeah, that was the day that we fished for lake trout all morning. You caught one steelhead.
Oh yeah.
We left mid-afternoon and went and caught some brown trout, and by some I mean one. That was the worst day we had the whole trip. I caught one brown trout. No, you caught a little brown trout. We each caught a little brown trout. Andrew caught a little brown trout, and I caught like a 20.
You caught like a 23 and a half.
Yeah, 23.5 inch brown trout right before dark.
And
Which then
the next day
gave
was
us
a
the
mistake.
idea for day 4 to go back and catch brown trout, because we figured at least there was brown trout there and the lake trout was kicking our butt. And we fished brown trout all morning long. We eventually leave and decide to go back to try to catch lake trout. We get down to the river we were fishing, and the water's clear.
Conditions.
Like,
Perfect
not perfectly
conditions.
clear, but perfect conditions. And we were
And
like,
we start slaying out.
we should have freaking just gone and tried to catch lake trout in the morning. We would have caught so many lake trout that day. Perfect conditions.
Yeah, we
And
caught 4 just
screwed it.
from like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Caught
something.
4, lost 1. Lost 2.
Yeah.
I lost a huge one right at dark.
Yeah, you did. Oh my gosh, why didn't we spend there all morning?
Dude, if we'd been there all day,
those
my
brown
gosh.
trout.
Oh my
Wasted
gosh, for the
sail on those
stinking brown trout. Not that,
Which it was
listen, I
fun,
love
but-
catching brown trout, but we can catch brown trout anywhere. And it just, whatever. You know, I didn't go to New York
I'm not
to
too
catch a
upset 'cause
25 inch
I
brown
did catch
trout.
I did catch a toad of a lake trout that I couldn't
No,
even
you did. No, I'm not.
lift up, because that was like my third 30+ inch trout of the day, and I was just toasted, I think. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was struggling.
Basically, Andrew needs to hit the gym is what we learned during that trip. But my point being is that, yeah, we should have fished for lake trout all day. We didn't, but we caught a bunch of lake trout. I caught one that was 30 inches on the dot, but that was the extent of the size of fish I caught.
Lake trout I hooked that day was 34 inches.
Yeah.
And it was like at
Couldn't be
2
me.
p.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was
So, anyways.
steel. I thought it was like a 24-inch steelhead.
Yeah. Well, that video, even though out of the New York series, it got the least amount of views, it's my favorite video. Because it has big brown trout in it. It has huge lake trout in it. It's my favorite video out of the series by far. I think I just didn't market it as well, which is hilarious. It just shows that like YouTube, if you market something properly, it's going to get more views regardless of what the content is.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the
that
most
first
viewed
day
one,
of Erie was the most viewed, even though it was the worst day. Well, I mean, it was the second to worst day, but yeah.
The last New York video might be passing it.
Oh, is it?
It's close. Yeah, it's close.
So we didn't really catch much that day either.
Well, I caught my
your
big one.
Yeah, you're right.
And then it went downhill. No, we caught. Did we catch a brown trout? Yeah, that was when.
I do
we caught some
feel
brown
like
trout
now,
at the end
though,
of the day.
if we did that trip again, if we could catch so many more after we know what we're doing.
Yes.
Now. Like
Yeah, now that we have an idea of what we're doing, yeah.
we could slay out. I don't know about slay out, but we would at least catch a couple a day.
I would consider it a slay out, probably. We'd probably catch a couple a day, at least, maybe more. Now we got to go for a 40, because apparently that's what people do for lake trouts. They go for 40s, so that's our new goal.
I think we can do it.
I don't think we can lift a 40-incher out of the net, though.
I'm not saying we can lift it, but we can catch it. It would have to be a thing where they do feel like the giant fish, and it's like I have to hold the head and you have to hold the tail.
Yeah, like a muskie.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, basically, that's how the trip ended. Because then the next day, day 5 or 6 or whatever, we went.
Yeah, the water was.
We went back. I caught that big one, my 33.5-inch lake trout, which was my biggest of the trip that morning. And then the river just got progressively muddy and started dropping, which I guess they were sucking more water out for one of the power plants on the river. I don't know. So it started dropping, got more muddy. Andrew and I were basically like, all right, we're just going to have to move or leave or go somewhere else, you know. So we left and went for brown trout, and we actually caught some brown trout. And then the next morning we were like, maybe it's going to be clear. And then we went there and it was just as muddy, or if not worse. Yeah. And then we were like, oh, should we go for brown trout again, or should we go try to catch some more Erie steelhead? And we decided to do Erie steelhead because Andrew had flown into Pittsburgh. So we were like, we might as well go the direction that we're going to have to be at tomorrow, because his flight was at 8 a.m. or something stupid early.
Yeah, and that was a mistake again.
And that was a mistake, because then we went closer.
We
should
made
have
two big mistakes that trip.
But just for a little context, the reason we made that decision is because it was blizzarding. So like,
That's true.
For us to get from, like upstate New York, like off of Lake Ontario back down to Pittsburgh that night would have been very risky. Because as it was, we were literally driving in a blizzard and the interstates were covered, which is just not ideal. So it's kind of like we made a decision for our safety, but then like in retrospect, we should have just like gone for brown trout that day and then just left at like 2 p.m. and just, driven during the daylight. And we would have had we would have probably had an extra video out of the trip, but here we are. So anyways, that was our New York trip. What were your overall feelings on it, Andrew?
Oh, I think it was great. I definitely want to go back again after I kind of have seen things and know more things. And I think we could do a lot better than we even did this last time. And I still think it's pretty good that we didn't know anything and we still went there and we both caught. I mean, I don't know how big those are compared to people who fish there all the time. It could be an average sized fish, but that last one I caught, I mean, it had to weigh 15 pounds,
maybe more.
I don't know,
maybe 20 pounds. Yeah,
it was girthy. So
yeah, I mean,
I was very impressed by it. I would like to do it again, and I think we can have a lot of fun the next time since we know even more now about the area.
Yeah.
So
I think it would be fun to do that as like an annual type trip. Like go up and catch the lake trout.
I think we did that as an annual
stuff.
We would get to where every trip we'd be catching mid-30s inch lake trout and a few big browns and steelhead and stuff too.
Agreed.
Depending on the runs of all the different species.
I was going to say the runs will be different every year, and some years it'll be good steelhead, some years it'll be good brown. Either way, it'll be fun to like go out there and, either way you're going to be catching some big fish. Hopefully every time you go there you catch 30s.
So we might make that
at least
an annual trip. So keep your eye out the end of this year for more videos maybe.
And everybody seemed like they enjoyed them. I got a lot of like positive feedback, not only in the comments but like in Instagram DMs and just across the board. Everybody seemed to enjoy those videos. So
and I really enjoy it because there's nothing better than hooking onto just a toad of a fish.
Nothing better than watching that indicator drop.
Fish. Yeah, I mean it's some of the most fun fishing to do, regardless of if the videos do good or not. So I'm excited to go back.
I agree 100%. I thought as to end this video off, we just talk about brainstorm some ideas of what we wanted to do in 2026. Because I have some ideas I want to run past you. See what you think. Like as far as trips. Okay. I teased something earlier in this video about maybe going back out towards the Idaho / northwestern region of the U.S. because I wanted to catch some native steelhead. I thought it'd be cool to do like a native steelhead versus the lake run steelhead video too. So if I could actually catch a native steelhead, it would be cool. Then I also thought it would be cool. I really want to do Pyramid Lake after doing the lake trout thing. So I feel like Pyramid Lake is just the exact same thing, but with cutthroat. So what I need from the people that are listening to this is if you have any experience with Pyramid Lake, I need you to tell me when I should go. Because I'm thinking that like March might be a good time. Like somewhere in that like early spring to where like I don't have to worry about too much snow and the fish are kind of moving maybe pre-spawn, because I'm assuming that they're cutthroat. They probably spawn in like April, May time frame.
Yeah.
So maybe pre-spawn. I don't know. But I need people to tell me about Pyramid Lake. I think that would be a fun one. I don't know if you're going to have any availability or what you're doing, but
probably not.
You're like, ew, Pyramid Lake? Probably not. I don't want to stand on a ladder in 20-degree weather. I'm not going to bring a ladder. But if I really can't catch a fish, I'll go to the hardware store and buy a ladder.
I feel like that would also be something where, like, you end up struggling to figure it out, and then eventually you'll figure something out and catch maybe one or two, but then you'll spend like 3 days though figuring that out.
Yeah, but dude, when you catch them, they're like mid-30s cutthroat. Are you kidding me? Like they catch 20 pounders out there. I'm not saying all the time, but like they catch 20 pounders out there fairly often, I think.
Yeah.
At least that's the pictures I see on Instagram. Social media, dude, if they post a picture on social media, it must be real. That means it's easy, right?
Yeah, it must be easy.
What else was I going to say about this year? Obviously, the Western Native Trout Challenge will continue. I really want to do Nevada, maybe Utah, maybe Oregon. Got to do a bull trout trip again. I want to try to get you involved in the bull trout trip. I think that's the most exciting trip of the year. Or at least for me personally, I just like bull trout. That's one of the trips I'm most excited about.
If I do bull trout, I would have to pick almost like.
Between what?
Well, I can't pass up my lake trout. The end of the year.
Yeah, but surely you have more than 2 weeks to take off.
3 trips because I have the lake trout, hunting. That's already 2 weeks gone. Right there.
What if you could come out for like even a couple days for bull trout? Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, we can see
flex some time.
But it also depends on what time of the year it's in. You're doing it, so.
I think we need to.
I really want to catch a 30-inch brown trout in Tennessee.
Well, so do I, and that's not going to happen. I did catch a 27-incher this year, though, so.
See? So it's getting bigger every year. So this year, I'm going to be there to catch the 30.
Well, I think I have a decent chance this upcoming year. We learned a lot last year. Like me and Will learned a lot this past year. I think I'm going to try to go out with Joe again, like more like midsummer, and chase some of the big browns that are in that river in the summer. I think that would be really fun. Yeah. What else was I going to say? I was about to say something. I can't remember what I was about to say. It was about
I'm going to make a video, possibly a trip to catch some trout. I don't want to spoil the video, but...
To catch what? Sorry, you cut out for a second.
To catch trout.
Wow, that's a lot. You're giving away too much. You better relax.
Spoil it. We'll just say it will be, how do I explain it? It will be
I don't even know what you're talking about right now, to be honest with you.
I don't know how to explain it. Either way, it's going to be a video. It's going to be like, yeah, you'll see. It'll be out in the spring, maybe.
Basically, what we need to do is we need to start a fundraiser to get Andrew full-time so that he doesn't have to worry about how to figure out how to use his 2 weeks of off time to go on the 13 different trips.
That. I can probably do 3 weeks, maybe 4. But because our trip,
I'm waiting for the
excuse. Any time off. I was able to flex in what time I was already had going on. So
here's the question. Yeah, but then here's the question. Why can't you?
But I can't bank on that every year. You know, I don't know what's.
Okay, this is what you need to do then. This is what you need to do. You need to, if you ever see that you're gonna have some flex time, I just need to plan the trips around your flex time.
Yes, I just don't know when that's ever gonna be until like probably the month of.
It's okay. So. If it's the month of, as long as I haven't gotten the tickets yet for the plane.
I do want to plan on doing the lake trout again for sure, even if I have to use my vacation time for that.
You have to do the bull trout. You haven't caught a bull trout yet? Embarrassing.
I know, but
the bull trout is like the pinnacle.
When you know it's good, like you know what you're doing. You're like, we're gonna go catch a 30.
This year is going to be the best possible. I mean, not the best. Obviously, you learn much more every year. But last year, I just went at a bad time. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was totally DIY. I was hoping that would like come off in the videos and that people would enjoy it. And the videos just did meh anyways. So next year, I'm going to try to meet up with like Grant and maybe a couple other guys that like know what they're doing. And we're all going to have my plan is to do like a bull trout camp. And try to get a bunch of people involved, and go to a river that like none of us have really been on, and just explore it and see what we can figure out. So,
well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'll always try to do what I can do, but yeah,
it'll be fun. That's what we need to do. And then obviously going into the end of the year, we are. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. We're going to do another annual big brown trout trip. Remember what we talked about?
Oh yeah.
We're going to switch it up on some people. Yeah, we're going to catch a 30, all right. The annual September brown
and I have
trout.
to take some time off for that too. My like fall through the end of the year is already cooked with all my vacation time.
Well, sis, listen, this is what you need to do. We need to have, everybody needs to go buy merch. We're actually not going to open the fly shop. We're going to get Andrew full time so that he can come on the trips and we can make better videos because we have more camera guys or whatever. New goal.
But this fall through the end of the year might be fire.
Yeah, we got some things cooking. I think 2026. 2026, I'm going for a 50-inch muskie,
I'm gonna break a
30-inch brown,
30-inch trout because I don't think I've caught. My biggest is the 28-inch brown trout, and that's gonna have to change.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch a 30-inch bull trout this year as well. That's huge. That's way up on my list, which is not that hard, but I haven't done it, so that's way up on my list. So, well, I don't really know what else I'm talking about, so I think that's good enough for this week's podcast.
I think we did good.
Yeah.
Leave any questions you guys have about the year or past podcasts. Try to answer them in the next podcast. And as I said, we're going to go for 24 podcasts in a year, like 2 every month. So keep your eye out for the next one, which we're going to be talking about hunting camp. And we'll probably have that as an annual episode of the podcast.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
At least.
And then we're going to try
2 episodes about it if we do like a Colorado edition of it, if we actually ever kill anything, and then a Eastern edition maybe. So we'll see.
That's true. If we ever get an elk, maybe we'll do an elk podcast.
Or a mule deer.
Also, if you guys have any like podcast ideas that you'd like to see, let us know. Obviously, we like doing podcasts about our trips, but I also have some other podcast ideas that I want to do. Like I'd love to talk about like some of the more controversial topics, kind of like spot burning or like, I don't know, all sorts of different things. I was thinking about spot burning because we talked about it a little bit in the last podcast, and I made a YouTube short out of it, which was just us talking about like the hypocrisy of like saying the YouTube videos were spot burning and then like posting on Instagram as if that's not also spot burning, like that it's all spot burning. If one is, then it all is. And there's some people getting angry in the comments.
Really?
Yes, dude. They're like, how could you say you're not spot burning? I was like, I never said that. I said, if you think we're spot burning, then don't post on Instagram. Yeah.
Get off social media.
And then one guy was like, well, what if I'm trying to, he said like, I disagree. I want to post my big fish because I'm proud of it. It's like, okay. Then just admit that you're either posting a really ugly picture if it's got a blurred background, or you're spot burning.
Which is fine. I mean, if you want to post
which is fine. Picture. I just said I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying he's kind of like a pot calling the kettle black or whatever that saying is. Anyways, yeah. So I think it'd be fun to like actually tackle that. Maybe even get like some of our friends on, like James and Mike on, and to talk about it, so that we have like different people that have nothing to do with content creation on here when we talk about it, to give like a different perspective.
We also need to get Dallas on one, just because he'd probably be funny.
He would be funny. He'd probably talk trash to me the whole time.
Yeah, he probably would. But people
like,
would like
this
that.
Dude.
This
if
dude,
you want to watch me,
he is fake. He hasn't talked to me in 2 years.
He hasn't talked to me in 2 years. Meanwhile, never mind. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's fun. We can get him on, get some of our buddies on. Maybe we'll get some other people on that are.
Yeah.
Also know something. I don't know. So, anyways.
All right. I think that'll do it for this podcast. I feel our energy dropping. You look like you're.
Honestly, I haven't eaten anything all day, and I know for you it's what 11:30.
I haven't had my caffeine yet, dude. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's 1:30. I haven't done anything but drink a singular cup of coffee. Yeah, I'm screwed.
Yeah, we need to. Okay.
All right, that was fun. We'll see Andrew. Maybe we'll try to do one next week and knock out the 2 really quickly. I mean, I figure in the winter when we don't have much going on and it's cold, maybe we'll do more of them. But our goal is still to do 2 a month.
Build them up for the year. So
thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, mostly questions.
Leave a like,
I don't really want to hear your concerns.
5-star review.
Leave a 5-star review.
I want to hear your concerns.
Download something, watch something, subscribe to the YouTube channel. One of my goals this year is to get to 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So even if you don't necessarily watch the YouTube videos, you listen to it on Spotify, subscribe to the YouTube channel anyway. And that's all I have to say.
Sorry, I was confused there. I was like, 1,000 subscribers if you're talking about the podcast channel.
I'm talking about the podcast channel. Yeah, the Hardman Fishing
I was very
channel.
confused.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that one.
What's happening?
We're gaining subscribers. Do we have like 237? We're killing the game. So I'm trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year.
The new channel, or is that already out? Because it'll be out by the time.
I haven't. I mean, I haven't made it yet. It's gonna be Hardman Fishing Uncut. It's gonna be like more low effort / uncut video of us fishing, but we'll talk about more about that when we actually launch it. I think.
If it already isn't launched by the time you see this video, just do a quick search, see if it's up. There might be a video on there. If not, it'll be up in the next month.
It really depends on if Andrew edits his salmon video that's 2 years in the making.
I have 3 videos ready to put on that son of a gun.
I can make that YouTube channel.
Not edited.
Okay. I was gonna say I can make the YouTube channel tomorrow.
You should make it tomorrow before this podcast comes out, just in case somebody takes the name of the thing for their own channel.
Why would someone do that? That doesn't even make sense. And if
they
they do, I just call it HFA Uncut. I just change the name. It's not that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Either way, I would just
in case there's some
make the channel. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll make the channel. I already have the logo.
So it'll be there regardless.
I did do that.
Go subscribe to it, even if there's no video up, because there will be a video up on it soon.
And it's going to be Andrew's 2-year in the making video. Eventually.
Yes. And a couple other videos, so stay tuned.
Right.
I might or might not have already broken a rod.
Sounds good.
There you go.
So you have to stay tuned to Hardman Fishing Uncut to figure out what he's talking about. Anyways,
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much for listening, watching, subscribing, leaving reviews, and whatever else that you could possibly do for us. You guys are awesome. I hope everybody had a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And I wish everybody the best in 2026. And I hope that you all break your personal bests in 2026 if you made it this far. Because if you made it this far, then you're awesome.
Perfect.
Done. Cut.